What is nothing? Ah, a question that no answer anybody gives will make any real sense at all. But I would, nothing is the same as everything. Everything and nothing are the same. You know, this is when this is seen, which is a phrase that's often used about non-duality, if you like. When this is seen, it's often a great shock. You know, a very, very big shock indeed. And I think that shock might be for various reasons, but one of those reasons, it is such a shock to see that nothing and everything is actually the same thing. And another way that this is often put is that everything is empty and everything is full, and fullness and emptiness are the same thing. Now, for the mind to try to make sense of that, I mean, I feel in a way, you know, one of, maybe many things can happen for people who hear this, but one of two quite likely things is that the mind will just hear that and say that's absolute nonsense and dismiss it. But another thing that can happen is that there can be a recognition, you know, and when there's a recognition, then there's no words really need to be spoken. There may be somebody, you know, listening to these words, and you know, and they'll just be going, yep, yes, yep, that's absolutely right. Because although this can't be described, nevertheless, that's probably as good a way of describing it as anything. That, you know, when oneness is seen, when non-duality is seen, these are all really bad phrases, but never mind. As good a way to describe it as any is it's seeing that nothing and everything are the same, and fullness and emptiness are the same.
Question is, what is non-duality?
Oh, right. Well, I mean, in a way, I mean, we have to talk, don't we? And so we could start by saying, well, you know, it's a word, and it's a ridiculous word in a way, and it kind of doesn't really mean anything. But we have to talk, and in talking, one of the phrases, this isn't a phrase I use very often, but a phrase that some speakers use is that through talking we can kind of, you know, give pointers, we can sort of indicate something, point at something which is, let's face it, both unknowable and ineffable. You know, it cannot be put into words, but here we are trying to put into words. So non-duality is as good a word as any. Non-duality simply means, you know, not to. If I say a little bit more about that, I would say that in the kind of normal apprehension of everyday life, if you like, the experience of everyday life that most of us live in most of the time, it seems like there are these two things. There's me, that's one thing, and there's everything else, that's the other thing. You know, so there's me, and I'm separate from the other thing, which is the world that I move through, if you like, or live in. So that's kind of duality, me and the world, me and other people, and so. But non-duality is just an attempt to express the possibility of this radical change of perspective, where it's realized that there isn't me and an external world that I move through, that they are the same. So those two, they seem to be two, but they're actually one. So non-duality, not two-ness, not me and the world, but I don't know how to express it, me world or world me or something like that. No one can express it. You know, sometimes I feel embarrassed at my lack of ability to express this, and then I remember no one can express this. All we can do is kind of hint, chat, talk, and miss it. We always miss it when we talk.
Thank you so much. The next question is, what is time?
What is time? You're really putting me on the spot this evening, aren't you? I mean, no messing about. Let's go through for the difficult ones. Well, time is an appearance. I mean, you know, this experience that we are having, is an appearance, and in that appearance there is time. So if you could say, if you like, this begs a few more questions, but let's just go for it this way. You could say time is created in consciousness. There appears to be a past, a present, and a future. So there appears to be a flow of time. Now, even kind of a moment's thought might make it absolutely clear that, of course, there isn't a past, a present, and a future, because the past no longer exists, the future is yet to be. All there is, therefore, is this. Words break down here, because I have to say all there is this moment, or all there is the present, or all there is now. And all of those words are misleading, but in a way it's kind of stunningly obvious that all that exists is what is happening right now. And yet in consciousness, I don't know how long right now lasts. Maybe it's a millionth of a second. I have no idea. Perhaps it's Planck time. I like to think that it's Planck time, because it's good to bring a bit of quantum physics into this to puzzle and baffle people. But all there is this, let's call it this present moment, and yet there is an apparent flow of time. There is an awareness of time, if you like. There's awareness of events unfolding, and events can only unfold apparently in time. And of course, there's also an awareness, very, very importantly for most individuals, of something called the past, which is something which I can have all sorts of wonderful feelings about, like regret and guilt and remorse. And then there's something called the future, which I can also have a wonderful set of feelings about, like, anxiety, fear, terror, expectation, hope, and so forth. So, time is part of the appearance. And yet, even on a very ordinary level, it should be kind of sort of pretty simple to see that time is also something which does not exist. So let's be ultimately paradoxical and say time both exists and does not exist. Non-duality loves these kinds of paradoxes. It's sort of very, very kind of Zen in that way.
I like that. Thank you so much.
I think you can probably say that if I think I'm understanding what's being said about non-duality, then I am not understanding what is being said about non-duality. That's this kind of thing, you might get in a Zen koan, maybe.
Spot on. Thank you. The next question is, what is the mind?
What is the mind? Well, I think this. Yeah, let's not mess around with how do I make a nice Thai chicken curry. Let's go for the difficult things. The first thing I would say about that is the mind is an illusion. The mind is something which does not exist. There is no mind, but what there is in experience is a flow of, I'm going to say a flow of thoughts, but I mean thoughts in the widest possible sense, if you like, a flow of experiences itself. So a flow of thoughts, of feelings, of perceptions. And that flow, that ever-changing flow, creates for most of us, and we're encouraged by our culture to believe in this creation, creates a kind of, we could say, an illusion or an appearance that there is something solid behind it called a mind. So the mind is, obviously it would be naive to say that people regard the mind as an object. Of course we don't. That's too materialistic. But nevertheless, it's kind of in that area that we have the impression that there is this entity. And that entity is very intimately connected to who I am. It isn't the same as who I am, because of course there is also the belief or the feeling that I have something even more sacred than a mind called the self. And both of those are wrong. There is no mind and there is no self. But what there is this ever-changing flow of perceptions, which can, doesn't have to, but can very much create the impression that there is a mind. And of course, this is a very good thing, because out of this, we can then create lots and lots of fun occupations, you know, because now I can start studying this thing called the mind, and I can become a psychologist or a therapist or whatever. So it's all good fun. And again, it's a bit of a shock, you know, if what we're talking about is actually directly seen. It's a bit of a shock to realize that this kind of perhaps rather precious or perhaps rather troublesome thing that I feel I've had all my life, you know, a mind, that it doesn't actually exist. There's just that ever-changing flow.